This time, Tottenham did not crack. This time there was no face-saving redemption for Chelsea. On the scene of one of Tottenham's greatest humiliations under Mauricio Pochettino, the denouement to the 2015-16 season, Tottenham put Chelsea away. By the end of this match, 8 points separated these two teams, and a metaphoric ocean in terms of where they would be heading next season. Tottenham, back to the Champions League for the third consecutive season, and their first at the new White Hart Lane. This is the win that establishes them as London's leading club right now. For Chelsea, it is a watershed, too. Will they be able to keep Eden Hazard while out of the Champions League for a second season in 3? They probably won't be working with Antonio Conte beyond the summer, that can be presumed. As for the squad, how will it be shaped from here? What will a new man make of Victor Moses' lapses at full-back? Will he persevere with Andreas Christensen or demand another finished article to slot in his place? Moses was at fault for the first Tottenham goal here. Christensen should have cleared when Dele Alli added the third, killing the game and Chelsea's league season unless a battle for Europa League football is floating any boats. The moment Tottenham equalised in first half injury time, the momentum in this game changed. Tottenham came out a different team in the second half and were well worth their win by the end. And, like a man with a point to prove, which, let's face it, he is, it was Lee whose coolness in front of goal encapsulated what put them apart. Chelsea had chances, but Tottenham took theirs. Specifically, Lee. In the space of 4 minutes, he all but settled one of the talking points of the season. The battle for fourth place looks as good as over now. Just as against Barcelona, defensive lapses cost Chelsea dearly. When Eric Dier played a sweep-through ball from deep, Christensen and Cesar Azpilicueta somehow allowed Ali to split them with a lovely curving run. It left him with only Willy Caballero to beat, which he did with a calm that belied his years. The best 21-year-old in the world? That's some claim. But there are plenty a decade older who cannot keep their heads in front of goal as Ali does. He had some help with the next. Son Heung-min's made a furious run down the left, but Chelsea had several chances to clear. Caballero was scrambling, Christensen air-kicking. Ali resolved it all for them, that and several other issues. Hugo Lloris is not the size of Anthony Joshua. That was the basic problem here. With another 4 inches or so he might have done enough to divert Victor Moses' cross. Might. That's the key word. Even with the height of a heavyweight champion, that cannot be guaranteed. That is how short he was of dealing with Chelsea's opener. And that is a problem, because Chelsea are the headed goal specialists in the Premier League this season. When Alvaro Morata put them ahead it was their 14th of the season, 2 more than any other club. With Morata the specialist's specialist. He has 11 this season, including 7 headers, the best return in the air of any player in the league. So when Antonio Rudiger hit his favourite crossfield ball, deep left to forward right, like a bishop's uninterrupted diagonal in chess, it picked out Moses in enough space to pick his target and execute a perfectly tempting cross. Lloris, who looks far from fallible of late, took the bait and came. He didn't get near. He needed a pogo stick, or stilts. The ball sailed over one despairing hand, there was not a prayer he could take it with 2, and fell to the player who lives for those opportunities. Morata can be a frustrating presence, spending so much time on the floor he could be nicknamed Underlay-say it with a Spanish accent, like Speedy Gonzalez, but he knows what he is about when a cross comes in. There was no chance Lloris would not be made to pay for his error of judgment. And Willy Caballero, his opposite number for Chelsea? Opinion is divided on his role in sending Tottenham in level at half-time. Some will argue Christian Eriksen's strike was up there with any seen this season, that it moved and spun in the air and no goalkeeper would have had a chance. Others, that Caballero was beaten by one that wasn't far from him, and should have dealt with it. Instead, not for the first time, he seemed startled by Eriksen's shooting power. Just 7 minutes earlier, he had palmed one out which Eriksen hit from 25 yards, recovering in time to avert danger. On this occasion, he did not get that opportunity. Chelsea had enjoyed the best of the half, with 1 minute of injury time remaining, when a moment of sloppiness changed the complexion of the game. Tottenham had enjoyed a lengthy period of possession in Chelsea's half, but Antonio Conte's team had kept their defensive line tight and repelled it well. Then Moses deciding to try something clever, dangerous, and unnecessary. A little flick from deep on the right side, over two Tottenham players to Willian. It didn't make it. Worse, the ball was recycled swiftly to Eriksen, Tottenham's most likely scorer. His shot was a perler, shifting, dipping, somehow dropping over the head of Caballero, who was barely off his line. Maybe he thought it was going over, maybe he was simply bamboozled. It was a poor return for Chelsea, given a very tidy first-half performance against what the table confirms is London's strongest team right now. Tottenham had the first chance of the half, a header from Dele Alli from an Eriksen cross, that should have got closer, but after that Chelsea were impressive, particularly on the counter-attack. Morata and Eden Hazard combined in one ferocious move that ended with a Willian shot saved by Lloris, while on another occasion Cesc Fabregas and Hazard were involved, before a deflection took the sting from a Moses shot and Lloris saved again. Fabregas put the hard-working Marcos Alonso in after 42 minutes, and after his cross was blocked, a shot from the rebound was saved. At the other end, Caballero was considerably less troubled, although when he was, he hardly inspired confidence. He was smartly off his line to kick clear from Eriksen after 32 minutes, taking a blow in the process, but Chelsea's defence did not seem as relaxed as they are when Thibaut Courtois is around, and Moses' uncertainty caused a scramble in the second half, with N'Golo Kante coming to his rescue, Ali lurking.